Hello everybody and welcome to Adelaide Oval. It's round 2 of the SANFL and a replay of last night's match between Norwood and Sturt. The historic first game, the first SANFL game under lights at Adelaide Oval. To pick up the call, your commentators, Mike Parsons, Ken Sheldon and Mark Daly.
Thank you, David. What a magnificent atmosphere it is here at Adelaide Oval. The first game played of SANFL football under lights, and the crowd really is getting involved already. The first bound by umpire Humphreys. The ball comes to ground. Sturt kick it forward. Going backwards, Bowman. Strength is showing. Quick handball across. The ball comes out wide towards the members' stand. Cunningham straightens onto his right leg. Drives it down towards centre half forward. The ball should be pushed out over the line. It is. And with us in commentary tonight, former Carlton St Kilda coach and also St Adelaide coach, Ken Sheldon. How are you tonight, Ken?
Yeah, terrific, thank you, Mark. And it is a magnificent spectacle under lights here at the Adelaide Oval.
Ball's thrown in, some strength showing. Players are eager to get the touch of the football.
And what a crowd there is at Adelaide Oval for the historic first SANFL game under lights at Adelaide Oval. Big ruckwork feast up, brings the ball down. Atkinson working hard, gets the handball away, but plenty of pressure over the top of the ball. And number 19 for the Redlegs was Damien King with the hard work, Ken.
Yes, and a great duel that will be. Brodie Atkinson, last year's Magarey medalist, joint Magarey medalist with Scott Doreen, playing in his second game for the Redlegs, coming from the Sydney Swans.
They're going to miss Jarman though, Ken, aren't they?
Oh, there's no doubt. And along with Scratch and Neil, the other, I guess, profile inclusion for the Redlegs, there is a big gap to be made up.
They've recruited pretty well though to cover those gaps.
Yes, I agree with that. But to me, Sturt, the Double Blues, they look a little more settled in the midfield, and that may be advantageous. As
Feast to Lennon is good work further afield. Soderstrom, an ungainly kick. It was an ineffective kick in the finish. And Yeobury, the big man who I'm told by the Redlegs officials is growing in stature. His pre-season's been solid and the Redlegs are expecting big things. Obbs, the speedster, who ran professionally in the summer, won his first professional race too, and I think in fact won a couple. Out it goes to Harley, a long ball. Feast and West. West is a long way from the full forward position. Fighting hard for the ball. He looks fit, the big fella.
Both teams, I was just going to say, Mark, tremendous centre lines. Harvey, Doreen, Obst for the Redlegs, and for number 17 for Sturt, Atkinson and Irvin.
Lennon.
Bruce Lennon, the former Richmond player. Tremendous experience.
Ball's been rebounded. Coming across, Tom Harley puts the ball up again. Big Feast, big Southern Feast. Couldn't take the mark. Got one touch on it. Ball comes to ground. The free kick has been found and awarded. Looks like Cunningham. He takes the free. Looking for 25. Cunningham quick to get the ball moving. Looking up forward. Big fella and O'Brien. Taking a tremendous grab, Ken.
Tremendous grab, no doubt about that, and I believe he started in the reserves. So
now Eccles is the player who's not taken the field. We presume he's been claimed by the Crows. Perhaps we're giving too much away.
Christian O'Brien. Around about 35 metres out, a 45-degree angle.
Had a stint, Mark, didn't he, with Geelong?
Certainly capable of kicking the distance here, even goalpost height, a prodigious kick.
First score of the night should be brought up by Norwood. Depends on the accuracy. He's pushed it right across the face of goal. At the back was West, couldn't take it. Miller's quick to take it. Cunningham has taken high. That's Damien King, who's changed numbers this year, fellas. Was 39.
Trivia question, who was wearing 19 last year?
Neville Roberts.
Wosley. Just a little trivia one for you. Neville Roberts was 9 by the way. There'll be Redleg fans just pulling out the daggers.
So Damien King, see the angle on your screen, lines up, just pushes the ball forward, beautifully controlled, and brings up the first major. Players are coming from everywhere to congratulate the player, and that's King's first goal. That's Norwood's first goal.
That was good play by King. He set himself about 45 metres out from goal as the kick was taken in by O'Brien. He ran hard to the square in front of that pack and was able to receive a real aggressive I guess, possession from the big fella Miller.
And Ken, if I'm not mistaken, this is the fellow that caught your eye here against Port Adelaide last year, Anzac Day. I think he kicked 4 off a half-forward flank.
Oh, tremendous pace and
Was it
balance
5?
and a lot of accuracy.
So the Redlegs are a goal on the board. We're 5 minutes into the first quarter, and what a big game at Adelaide Oval. Two great rivals as Cunningham gets the hard ball out of the middle, doesn't he always, this young fella? Free kick for the Double Blues, but the advantage is played as Lennon streaks away and gets decked as he disposes of the kick. But Feast, the big fellow, took front position, marks and plays on quickly. There's a new style for the Double Blues. They move the ball quickly, and it's a big one to White. He looked to play on, now he goes on the left foot, bombs it into the square. It's a one-on-one contest. Burton was up, couldn't bring the ball down, tucked away beautifully by Malloy, and the Redlegs defence stands firm. They've got a terrific defence. I think they were the best defence in the competition last year, and they look pretty settled again this year, Ken.
Yes, well, Malloy there, who can play up forward, but tremendous defensive spoil. Of course, that defence is held together by Bowman, 90-odd games of experience, and tremendous at centre-half back.
Atkinson, the bottom of the pack with Harvey. Dudley Archie comes up. Player is taking him. Very strong, very aggressive, both sides at the football. It's early stages of the game. So Stanfield up against Newbury, the two number 43s. The umpire plays the advantage. Just Cunningham coming out, drives it long. Miller takes on 2. He's got Feast in front. Coming down, number 31 is Barnaby French, new player to the side this year. Ball goes forward. The running players again coming out. Good strong kick by Maloney. Norwood defence holding strong. They'll get the ball to the ground. This time they might have a chance to clear it. It does. It comes out wide. Coming back. Taking a good strong mark is Matty Powell.
Looks strong, Ken, doesn't he?
Yes, tremendous physique, Matthew Powell.
If it's possible, I think he had a better run with the Double Blues than he did with South Adelaide. And off goes the big fella in, is that Patura? We'll try and pick him up for you. It's 49, not listed in the record. And we're searching for it, but there's a free kick to the Redlegs. It's going the way of Malloy. Well, he looks like Gary McIntosh a little. I think he's trying to take on the posture and the presence. Over the head there of Scotty Doreen, who just couldn't quite do it. This is clever work. The Redlegs are at their best. Cunningham, best on ground in the first 5 minutes, is just tearing them apart in the midfield. This is James, spears it in short. The target was O'Brien. Good work deep in the defence with Threadgold. Now Geddes over the top of the ball and happy to see the line. Well, it's a battle of defences, and it's solid, hard running.
There's former Norwood champion Michael Aish. He's taken a role within the club as a team runner, or one of the team runners. Great to see him back involved at SANFL level. As we see the ball kicking it out.
I think there'll be a lot of this evening. Both midfields match up. They really do match up well. The ruckmen are even in height and probably physicality. I think there'll be a lot of ball-ups, throw-ins, as both sides do structure up well.
So Miller couldn't quite take it out here. The umpire will come back in again and ball it up. So we're 8 minutes into this first quarter of round 2. Norwood 1 goal. They leave Sturt. They're yet to score.
Gary McIntosh in the thick of things. Well, he just seems to go on and on. A lot of people thought that with the flag last year he might have retired, but he just as committed to the club for another year. Maybe they'll get 2 out of him. Threadgold. O'Brien went in solidly. Geddes held his ground. Now Threadgold at the back of the pack. Recovers beautifully, gets it off to Soderstrom, a natural left footer. He sweeps it out to the far side where Irving got away from Obst. It was great pace, Irving, and Obst was quick to run him down in the final analysis. Bowman sets himself in the front position, but there's a free kick off the ball to the umpire. White got a push, and the big Sturt half forward will take a rangy left footer kick. He's undecided, however. There's 2 or 3 options. Burton in the square, doubles back. Good movement in the Double Blue forward line, and it goes the way of Burton, who sets himself. The big fella did it well. Started the lead, doubled back, and then came a second time and worked under the ball for a magnificent mark.
So I was always going to be critical of White for not getting that ball in quicker. Burton was one out with his opponent, but he really did. He held it well. It's something that they must practice at training. He showed good football intelligence, held the ball, put it well out in front of Burton, who took a strong mark, as we've become accustomed to, and he is a magnificent kick of the football.
So Burton, 30 metres out, almost directly in front. His pre-season's form's been excellent. They like that, the double blues. It's through the middle. He gets his first, and the double blues get their first. Scores are locked away. We're 10 minutes into the first quarter at Adelaide Oval.
So I think the height of Burton, White and Stanfield, the height and marking strength, could pose a problem for a lot of clubs this year, particularly when you combine it with a very experienced midfield. That kick came long in from Irvin to the half forward, where White took it and then put it long again to the lead of Burton. So good football by the double blues.
The score's locked away. The 10-minute mark of this first quarter. Ball's put down by Feast. In there quickly was Powell. Throws it onto his right boot. Good contest out here. That's Ferguson. He's up against Harley. The ball's kicked out of bounds on the full. And the double blues will take the free kick.
Terrific pressure, Ken, wasn't it?
These sides, as I did mention before, they really do match up well, and the one-on-one duels all over the ground will be a real highlight this evening. It's a side that can obviously use the ball most effectively, but also sustain that type of pressure that we just experienced.
Phil Carman, always a nervous spectator. Plenty of things to do as the coach, and hasn't he done a wonderful job with this double blue side? Took them on when they were the dead set easy beats of the competition. Fourth last year and competitive in the early stages of this match against last year's premiers.
Yes, I think that's something that shouldn't be forgotten. Like, there were not too many hands at all going up in Adelaide to coach the double blues a few years back. Fabulous Phil, he was there prepared, he was there as the runner and took it on. They had nothing as a weights program. They now have a Port Power weights program which they follow, and these players do look to have benefited from that.
One player there in Matty Powell. Bit of AFL experience with the Crows. Now enjoying his time with the double blues. The ball will be thrown in on the outer wing. Big number 31 is Barnaby French. Ex-Ironbank. Players, the ball comes in. Out again was West, coming through is Cunningham. He's picking up kicks at will. Throws onto his left boot. It goes forward. Feast is there to defend. Coming out strong was O'Brien. Beautifully delivered by the big fella. Umpire's call play. Oh, no, he hasn't. There should be a 25-metre penalty. What are the umpires saying? Both men in white looking at each other.
Umpire Mike Humphries sorts it out.
Gee, that's good skill from a big fellow.
So Powell puts the ball up. Archie reads the ball beautifully. Couldn't quite take the grab. The ball's come to James. Norwood again go forward. The old captain this year sharing the responsibility with Anthony Harvey. Couldn't take it. Brodie Atkinson.
Mark, I think that might have been Jerry Dantock here in defence, and he looks to be having a fine start to this match also, as over the top of the ball, Harvey, Irvin works well. White flips out the handball. They're working pretty hard. Weatherall, the hurried kick, but under pressure. What great pressure the Redlegs are applying early in this match.
And you would expect them to too, David. They last year's premiers, soundly beaten last week.
Well, 2 points. West Adelaide, it's not a big margin, but I take your point.
I think they started outright favourites and to be beaten in the opening game of the season.
I think West Adelaide might surprise a few people this year. They look more settled than they ever have. Pitt, who was recruited to Collingwood from the Norwood reserves and played 13 quite reasonable games for the Magpies before being taken by the Western Bulldogs. He never played a game for them, came back to the Redlegs. Clement sets himself, Lennon at the back, flips it out to Burton. Burton's working hard, the big fellow, a long way from full forward. Flips it in, and backing back, doing it pretty well was White. Great courage. Pitt took the back position. White threw it out in the finish line. I think the umpire might have picked that up. He has. It was a definite throw, and the goal that was scored will not count.
So you'll see this on replay.
Great courage.
Yes, almost took the mark, and you'll just see it here. Flicked it. It's a dubious one.
Oh,
touch and go.
A dubious one.
Well, I think so. I think his left fist was clenched.
Now, who's this bloke, Nails?
Jerry Dantoshia. Comes down. Double blues defend. Pushes up high. In there is White from the side. Couldn't take it. Ball comes out quickly. Weatherall's onto it. Looking for support. Couldn't find it. This is Obbs, the speedster, takes the bounce. Will he go again? He doesn't. Puts the ball out beautifully to the running Cunningham. Who is picking up that man? He's got time to come back. He does that to Miller. Miller lines the goals up, sends it on its way. I think it's home. It is.
What work by Cunningham.
Great work by Cunningham. Great work by Obbs in the middle. And well finished by the big fella in Miller. That's his first goal for the night.
Well, the drop mark at half forward, the incorrect option by the Sturt players with the hands. Great rebound football by the Redlegs. The pace of Obbs really did split them up. To Cunningham, who had run forward of the play. Peter Motley walking past the commentary position. One of the great double blues and Carlton players.
As we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary.
And interesting move there from Phil Carman. Very unhappy with Julian Burton, who came out, gathered the ball and opted to kick on his left foot rather than give the handball, and he was straight off the ground.
Ball's down, Harvey couldn't take it. Some strong work shown by both sides. Number 43 there is John Yerbury. The player there really are relying on this year, Ken, to do most of the ruck work.
Yes, it's been a contentious issue, hasn't it? The ruck division of the Crows, with Eastall being drafted by, of the Redlegs I should say, Eastall being drafted by
Essendon,
the Bombers, and Keating of course on the Crows list.
So Archie finds his player out wide.
Maloney.
It's a good mark taken by Maloney.
They're looking good across half forward, Sturt. They just need to hang on to a couple of marks across there, and I think they could do a lot of damage. But if they're not able to grab those marks and kick accurately early, well then the Norwood rebounding defence will gain a lot of confidence.
So Maloney outside of 50. Sends it on its way. Making front position was Stanfield. Behind there was White. The ball suckered forward. It's put up a score, but only a behind. So the 16.5-minute mark this first quarter. A 6-point margin to the Redlegs.
Malloy from full-back. A prodigious kick, and that one no exception. Right on the 50-metre line. Big pack. Geddes gets it away from Obst. Dispatches a kick forward. Crashing through Clements. He did that particularly well. Some real bustle about this Redleg side. Miller paddles it forward to himself. Gets away a handball into space. It goes. West, a foot race with Soderstrom. And Soderstrom across the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. Well, pressure's a funny thing. And West applied it.
As you see here on replay, both players in pursuit of the footy, and just that push at the crucial time.
So James West from 48 metres lobs it right to the point of the square. Oh, it's hit the post! Well, it would have brought the house down. A goal from there.
Certainly a big kick due to the conditions here, and the wind just favouring that, blowing from right to left over James West's shoulder. Gee, the conditions just perfect.
It's a magnificent night for football. Matty Powell onto his left leg. He's looking for Feast. So big Feast takes a good mark. And down the boundary again, Mike Parsons.
And while the ball was at the other end of the ground, kicking a goal, Julian Burton served his penance, and Coach Carman's got him back on the ground to see if he can get a goal at the other end.
Very important play to have out there. Ball's put forward. He's found Burton.
Was that Jared Twick?
That's him, the boy from Canberra. What a pass, what balance. He understood the situation, received the ball inboard. Good manoeuvre from the Sturt side to a lead full on.
One thing the Double Blues are playing pretty well, Mark, is the corridor.
So really are working it through the middle of the ground. As we see Burton lining up. Kick from around 45 metres. He'll make the distance, no doubt about that. He's got the accuracy. I don't think he has. There's no crowd reaction. That's his first behind the night. He's kicked one goal already. So again we see that margin. It's 2 goals, 1 to Norwood. They lead Sturt 1 goal 2.
A real arm wrestle here at Adelaide Oval, where 19 minutes into the first quarter, there's Jerry Dantock here from the defensive post. Plays onto himself, gains a good advantage of 5 or 6 metres. Got decked as he kicked the ball too, and the umpire was right on the spot. Umpire Kevin Chambers. No fooling around with those. He just pays them. And Bowman from half-back left. The big centre-half-back getting better with every season. Lobs it towards Miller at centre-half forward. Crashing out in front of him. It's that big Barnaby French, the 6'6" giant from Ironbank. and he shows a fair bit of potential on the Port Power rookie list. With form like that, he might be on the senior list before long. Archie, Rick Pace bounces it. Well, there's some skill there. Lobs it to the square. It's a one-on-one contest. Malloy took front position, did very well. Right under pressure from Pitt. Pitt did very well. Just nudged him as the kick was being dispatched and forced the point.
Yes, we've seen pressure at both ends. One by James West and that one there just in the nick of time, able to unbalance their Sturt opponents, and very much to the advantage of the Redlegs team.
All in the timing, Ken, isn't it?
It is.
There goes the kick and just a little shove.
So I'm probably not sure whether that was a reflection of the shove or just the inability of White to be able to put that through. I'm sure if he could have it 20 times at training, he'd kick 19 of them.
Nathan Irvine takes a good mark overhead.
Former Norwood player. I think he'd be pretty keen, Mark, to impress tonight.
Sure he would. Strong left leg, looking for Burton again. In the front was Stanfield. Weatherall's down there as well. A Norwood player quickly onto his boot. Looked like it was Cunningham, fellas, I think.
6 kicks to Cunningham, 1 ineffective. It's 2 handballs, 8 possessions in 21 minutes.
The big fella, Barry Stanfield.
Yeah, Ken, after he kicks this, you might tell us why the Crows have abandoned this bloke.
Stanfield, tight on the boundary, puts it on its way to the top of the square. Plays from behind. Burton's there as well, also with Pitt, and the ball's knocked over for another rush behind.
There's obviously something going on with Stanfield and the Crows.
Well, I think you've got to look back to how he was recruited in the first place, really as a backup for Rotherham at centre-half forward.
I thought as a foil for Modra out of a pocket was his best role.
But this year, pre-season, has had a lot of trouble with Achilles and calf injuries. So therefore, he's probably lucky to be in the Sturt side because of fitness, not ability. He'll only get better as the year goes by. But certainly, this is a year he has to make his mark.
Well done. Archie couldn't get through. Now he does so. A check side kick around the corner it goes. Malloy took front position. Got a push at the umpire or a pull, more importantly, and the advantage allowed to flow as Pitt gets away. Couple of bounces. Ran down in the final analysis by Ferguson, the former Adelaide Uni player, and that's Maloney. That's Seamus Type. Well, isn't he an improved player? We saw him play a couple of crackers last year, and he started the season in fine form tonight. Ferguson again. 30 goals last year from 20 games. A pretty impressive debut for that young fella. Harley took front position, missed everything. Malloy had the kick smothered. Well done, Weatherall on the boundary and a left footer. Centres it up to the point of the square. What a kick. Archie couldn't miss it. Lennon was there. James relieves the pressure. And away come the Redlegs.
Oh, the mark had to be taken. Archie was set there to take it, just didn't. And the ball has been rebounded and will end up in the Norwood's forward line. But good work again. Number 49, Mark Patura. Dropped down to Guernsey. He's found his teammate running through the centre of the ground, which uses the ball wisely.
Irvin is a beautiful kick mark, isn't he?
Oh, lovely. Very balanced player. We've got a few players like that at the double blues.
Best player on the ground at this stage.
What about Cunningham?
Nathan Irvin. Cunningham best for Norwood, but Irvin the most influential player on the park.
So Brucey Lennon puts it on its way. He's put up a goal. So the running wingman brings up his first score for the night. That's his first goal. And that keeps Sturt just in contention at the moment, fellas.
And just a turnover by Norwood. The kick just too high coming into half forward. Tremendous mark. Anticipation by Patura. A one grab mark. Quickly turned on his left and put it to Irvin, who made something of nothing. The kick wasn't that flash to him, but he really did burst through and then delivered it lace out to his fellow wingman in Bruce Lennon, who with great accuracy put through his first goal.
16 plays 13, a 3-point ball game. We're 24 minutes into the first quarter at Adelaide Oval. Feast and Yeobury. It was Yeobury who won the toss. Down it went to King, then McIntosh, then Opt. Off he goes with pace. Around the corner on the right boot, the non-preferred. Cunningham will need to go hard at it. French went solidly, but O'Brien was equal to the contest. And Phil Carman just senses that the Double Blues are right in the hunt for this one. And what a scalp this would be.
I think it's very important for Sturt. Next week's game at Adelaide Oval, tremendous launching pad for them.
Geddes almost got through. Obbs was up to it. This is King bending it back around the corner. Harvey quickly inboard. Cunningham running. This fellow's been sensational. Oh, he's missed. Or has he? Goal up by Says it's through. It's a goal to the Redlegs. Cunningham kicks an important goal right on the 25-minute mark of this first term.
Just the ability of the Norwood side. Look at the hands, beautiful inboard. To the running Cunningham, balances up, and no doubt about that one. You just love to see that. That's what Rovers are paid for, isn't it? Clean hands, a good handball inboard to another running Rover.
And the finishing touch.
And then no doubt about it. Just
so 3-point, Desiford turns into a 3-point margin. The double Blues trail by that 3 points. As again we see the ball put down in the middle of the magnificent looking Adelaide Oval. Coming out, just like Weatherall, couldn't quite get his boot to the ball. Players really are enjoying these conditions.
How could you not, Mark? Big crowd, perfect weather conditions in the Oval. Absolute picture.
Styrene throws it onto his boot. Dilla couldn't quite take it. Comes through the middle of the green. Maloney again is doing a lot of work early. Puts the ball out wide. He got there. I think he has the big fella in white. Keen to get it moving quickly. He puts it up. Makes it hard work there for Atkinson. He does well. Brings the ball to ground. Number 40 is Twit. Where's he put it? Out of bounds on the fall.
Now, I can't wait to hear what nickname you'll come up with this bloke. Young Jared Twit Kent from the Wagga Tigers and the ACT under-18s. His family are here tonight. Came over from Wagga.
They'd be very pleased with what they're seeing so far. He really is adjusting to the game, the tempo of the game well. He'd like to have that one again, obviously, but we all make those mistakes at some stage in our career. He'll learn from that. So far, he looks to be a very accomplished player with a good future. Geddes
inboard to Ferguson. The kick just a little misplaced as Pitt dropped into the hole. Perhaps the kick wasn't so bad, but Pitt was really up to it and measured it off beautifully. Just dropped into the hole. Read it superbly. Plays on quickly. This is Harley. Spears it down the centre at McIntosh. It was a perfect kick. And Macca looks to sweep on the left boot. Distributes it wide. Nobody was reading the kick particularly. Archie dropped back on it, but Clemens stuffed it forward into space. And it was just enough to provide a little bit of room. And Lennon quite content to see it across the line. We're 27 minutes gone. Scores are 3 points adrift. The Redlegs enjoy the advantage. But it is a game that is ebbing and flowing already. Miller in ruck, thumps it down. At the back it was Powell, but McIntosh toe poked it forward. King crashes through, feeds it off now. Over the top of that was Robert Neal, the former St Kilda player who played in the Saints grand final side of last year, but they couldn't find a spot for him on their top 42, Ken. A real surprise.
Yes, I guess it was a real surprise, but St Kilda in their quest to go the next step have to make the hard decisions.
Cunningham quickly, Scotty Doreen around the corner. Well, you talk about what they get paid for, and that's what he gets paid for, to kick goals, and he did that beautifully on the left, Scotty Doreen. He got a couple last week against West, and he impressed.
It's good coaching by Peter Rowe. Doreen in only, his second game of SNFL footy, picking up Brodie Atkinson as a tagger, but just in the last few minutes has released himself from that role and was given space for a change of direction at fullback. He was the player that launched that attack for Norwood, and he was the player that finished it. So good play.
9-point margin. First quarter nearly over here at Adelaide Oval. Again we see Feast up with Yerbury. Ball comes to the ground again. The umpire quick to blow his whistle. As Irvine hands the ball back to umpire Chambers. The ball's put down. Feast again. Yerbury gets the better of the tap. Coming through hard was King. He goes wide looking for Ops. Beautifully picked up again by Malone. The ball's driven forward. The Patura comes to ground. Pitt again has had quite a few touches in this first quarter. Goes out wider. Got the running Bowman. Bowman onto his right leg. Will drive it down the wing. He does that. Looking for Miller. Good spoil from behind. Atkinson onto his boot. Up forward again. Wide's there. Couldn't take it. Players coming out crashing into each other with two Norwood players and Malloy. Ball over the top to Archie. What can happen here? Archie shows some magic. He doesn't. The ball's knocked forward. And out comes Jerry Dantoshi. As we hear the quarter time siren here to end the first quarter between the double Blues and Norwood. The scores here, it is a 9-point margin into the first quarter to the Redlegs.
So the Redlegs have been very well served by Cunningham, starting as first rover, their best player, no doubt, and finished with a fine left-foot goal. Thought Tree Clements has been good across half-back. Doreen for his curbing on Atkinson, and then finished with a couple of possessions late in the quarter, including a goal, and King has been a good player as well. While for the Double Blues, I think Nathan Irvin is the best player on the ground at this stage. Simon Feast, Big White, as well as Lennon, Matthew Powell, and I've been very impressed with Maloney across half-back.
So at quarter time here at Adelaide Oval, it's 4-1 the Redlegs, 2 goals for the Double Blues in the big one. The first match under lights at Adelaide Oval for the SANFL. You're watching it on ABC Football. So the start of the second quarter, it's the Double Blues trailing by 9 points. Norwood kicked 4-1, and the damaging player for the Redlegs was Cunningham. The Double Blues will need to take charge of him in this second quarter if they're to charge back in this match. Archie, the ball sat nicely for him, but Clements was up to it. Pushed the ball out wide. Running after it was Julian Burton, first man there. Soccer skills showing. Now claim, Malloy got him. He dispatched the handball, but the umpire said it was too late or a throw. And the free kick goes back to Malloy.
It was a great tackle by Malloy, twisted him inside out, removing the left hand from any effectiveness with the foot in. It was a throw. But yes, I agree, Cunningham, if Sturt can take him out of the game and just capitalise a little more at half forward, that's where they're falling down, and the rebound of Norwood is why they're in front.
Scotty Doreen, the former Swans player, pushes out wide. The kick just didn't quite have enough carry. Patura was able to jump in front and now just unsettles a few. Ops comes in. No, Patura not averse to a little bit of biffo.
No. Just to add further weight to that comment, David, like the Double Blues have been inside 50 on 15 occasions in comparison to Norwood's 9. They really are breaking down at half forward, just not able to capitalise on the amount of football that is coming in there.
As we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary line.
And Brodie Atkinson been a little bit quiet early in the game. He was having his ankle looked at by the training staff from the Sturt Football Club during the break, so something not quite right there for Brodie Atkinson, but all in all, the coach of the Sturt Football Club very happy with what was going on in that first quarter.
Michael Peter Road, you had a chance to listen to him at quarter time. What were his instructions to the Redlegs?
He gave them a tick for the first quarter, but was really looking for the work rate to stay where it was for the rest of the game. Was concerned with the power from Sturt, the way he was getting hold of the football, wanted somebody to get back and man up on him, and also was looking at his particular structure for defending the kick-in from Sturt.
And Phil Carman with the Double Blues?
Phil, again, pretty happy with what was going on, looking for the hold the ball in the forward area a little bit more than what was happening, and also for the Rovers up there in the forward line to get to the front of the pack.
Well, you'd be dead right with that, Mark, because inside 50 15 times, and they only scored 2 goals for, so he's assessed that pretty well.
Oh, Stephen Pitt back there was magnificent, so was Jerry Dantosh here, and also Malloy is doing a good job, although he's had a couple of chances, the big fella up forward. Burton, he's still a pretty handy player to have down there. We see King comes up with the football, Ken.
I think one of the important things the Sturt forwards should remember is that it's okay to be critical of us little blokes, Rovers, to get in front and the square of the pack, but the big blokes, if they're ineffective and can't mark it, I think it's their duty also to make sure the ball does come to a predictable position.
Feast out to Atkinson, throws the ball across. The running player in Irvine again over to Weatherall. Weatherall's going to play it short, he goes that way. Great setup by the Double Blues, ends up with the new player in Jared Twitt.
Now you were talking at quarter time, Jared Einstein is the new nickname, is that what you've gone with? Jared Einstein.
Keep me out of this.
Well, for those of you who just joined us, Mark Naley has a habit of giving new players nicknames that stick.
So Twitt lines up directly in front. I think he's missed it, he has, he's pushed it across the face. Brings up his first score in league football.
That boy could just look at that on replay, it would show him just leaning back on that kick. You need to be over the football when you're in close range like that. You watch the gun forwards, the Locketts, the Dunstalls, these players. They leave no room for error when kicking for goal like that.
19, Jared Twitt would certainly have aspirations of playing in the AFL. And only learned big fly from behind was Thompson, who started the game on the interchange bench. Roger James gets thrown away in the tackle, and the ball is already out of play, so we'll have a throw in. We're 4 minutes into the second term. The margin is 8 points. The Redlegs enjoy the lead. And Thompson in ruck from behind. It was Stanfield who wins it, but McIntosh stole it away. Working hard over the top of the ball was Powell. Now quickly on was Atkinson, and Thompson was back on it quickly. Good second effort by the ruckman.
Oh yes, but what a magnificent spoil by Matthew Powell. From McIntosh left foot, he turned on the left, but there was Powell to smother it and hold it into the Sturt forward line.
So those 1%ers we talk about. Stanfield gets a little nudge. Thompson gets it down. Quickly away was Doreen dispatching the kick forward. Look at this strong work. This is Patura. A high one, a big pack. Who wants it? White was up. Weatherall brought it down. Clements claimed him and did pretty well in the finish. He was just charging through. Must have been unkind. I think that might have been. It might have been Harley. Either way, it was just stitched up beautifully. So the Redlegs by 8 points. Stanfield thumps it down. McIntosh couldn't quite control the ball. There's a free kick there for sure. Put the saddle on him, Kent.
Yes, and good use of the body by the Sturt player. And this is where they must capitalise here. They've had enough of the football now.
So Ferguson gets an opportunity of shooting from 35 directly in front. They trailed by 8 points, and a goal here is crucial.
No doubt. Some adjustments that have been made. Matthew Powell has gone on to the rampant Cunningham, so that's a good move by coach Phil Carman.
So Ferguson directly in front, stays over the kick, the crowd likes it. Double Blues enjoyed that one. They trailed by 2 points. It was an important kick.
Yes, Sturt have had quite a lot of the football inside 50, and they've missed some simple ones and dropped some easy marks. Well, they look easy from here, I might say, but we are playing under lights at the Adelaide Oval. A new experience to all the players. They just must keep persevering, persisting, the Sturt Football Club, and they look like they'll have a good night here this evening.
They're back to a 2-point margin, the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Big Simon Feast up against the big fella, John Newbury. Ball favours the Redlegs. Knocked forward. Powell's working hard. He's on it again. He's got the running play if he can get hold of it. Too much pace for McIntosh. Great spoil by, looks like Obst. Running through now. He'll straighten his body. Come through the middle of the ground. He does that. Lightning pace as Obst puts it up forward. West. Good grab. Good mark. Well played, young Obst.
Yes, and that'll ever so much please the Norwood coach Peter Rowe. Those turnovers in midfield, they really are 150-metre turnaround. If you consider that kick of Powell's had entered the Sturt forward line, they could have been kicking for goal, but indeed it's up the other end of the ground, and James West now kicking for the Redlegs.
James West just stepped at the football and pushes it wide. That's his second point for the night, Ken.
Yes, it wasn't a good approach. Looked at it clearly from this vantage point. Very poor approach. James West will need to improve in that area.
Thread goal, the skipper long to Feast. Thompson at the back couldn't quite get there. Atkinson just toe poked it forward. Scotty Doreen, first man on the scene, but bundled out of play by Atkinson, who did that pretty well.
Great player, Brody Atkinson. Tremendous player for a long period of time at the SNFL level. A few games with St Kilda.
Feast, who contemplated his future at the start of the year. Harvey, Brian over the shoulder and out of bounds. So Feast, the big ruckman, is he good enough for AFL? Ken, in your opinion?
I believe he is. Yeah, I'd be giving him a go, David.
Bowman front position, couldn't bring it down. Atkinson off to Weatherall in the quick handball. Weatherall drives it short, and Burton just bustled off it by Malloy, who was wearing him like a blanket.
And I'll make that comment on the fact that I've seen him training in the mud at Mount Gambier, and I've seen him improve out of sight here as in the last couple of SNFL seasons.
Yes, he certainly has, and you think he's got a level of improvement left in him.
And I've also seen him control a game of footy here at Adelaide Oval with a great degree of football intelligence. Like, he does know what it's about.
We saw them against Central here last year, didn't we? Where he played just a spectacular game.
And I'll qualify that even further by saying it's a rarity for those big blokes.
Spoken like a true rover, comments Ken Sheldon. As Thompson plays on, brings it inboard. Harley skirts across the goal line. Centres it up now and brings it forward. Well, is it going to work? Dantokia made it work because Dantokia was up to it. With great courage, he crashed in. White wraps it up. Malloy comes in late. It was a good contest, a very good contest.
Yes, tremendous commitment from Dan Tokia and also from Maloney, who was just able to force that ball forward for Sturt.
So bounce down at half-back for the Redlegs. McIntosh claimed high, dragged off it by Stanfield. The crowd didn't like it. Stanfield goes back under it, and Macra just lets the umpire know. You be the judge. Where was the tackle? Ken, you're an umpire's man. Oh.
Well, still the umpire was to their disadvantage there from where that tackle came from, or his vision towards it.
There's no argument there as Macca's back in there again. They wind up sitting, throws the ball out. The umpire on the blind side. Cunningham ends up with it. He goes wider. Number 34 is Harley. Suckles the ball forward. The ball's kept in. Some strong work again. Players diving desperately over the football. Archie ends up with it. The umpire played the free kick. I think he has.
Ferguson came in late.
Yeah.
And Bustle Clements off the ball.
Yeah, Todd Ferguson very undisciplined there. It was really, well, he was caught out by the moment. He was sucked in by the aggression shown by all players and tried to exert it, but was caught out.
Strong ball from behind. Big Barnaby French. Drops himself back. You're just seeing on the screens there. Just playing that loose man back. We see Feast up with Miller. A couple of strong players. Really are working hard, Ken, this Norwood side on the defensive skill. Every time a Norwood or a Sturt player gets hold of that football, very quick to tackle.
Big heads, those Redlegs after a flag last year, aren't they? Great to see the crowd building up at Adelaide Oval. An impressive crowd it is as Patura punches it forward. Dantokia sweeps it away to the far side.
What tremendous experience that. Just pushed his opponent off the ball, read the flight brilliantly. Jerry Dantokia, tremendous experience.
Now Bowman, who we remember as a Dow defender early in his career, is attacking, and he really is developing that aspect of his game. Feeds it off to Harvey, a high ball to the far side. Big fly was king, couldn't bring it down. Maloney flips it through, gets it away, over the top of it, Irvin. Misjudged that. Barnaby French flicks it further again. Rebounds the big ex-Aussie rower. Off it goes. Weatherall brings it back down the corridor. They're building. Twit. Forward. Oh, who wants this one? White goes to ground. Pitt claims him. That's holding the ball, no question of that.
Something pretty significant come out of that passage of play, though. Young Twit was prepared, confident enough to have a go at handball in that ball 40 metres, so he obviously believes in himself. I think he's got a good future, David.
Well, you've got to have a bit of confidence to do that, but the tackle was too high, said the umpire. Harley goes back. The Double Blues don't like it. He had to go back over the mark, and Cunningham was off and running. Well, he's cutting loose, and Twit has been given the job now on Cunningham. That's an interesting one.
No, Matthew Powell it is still.
Oh, so he's just manning up.
Just an adjustment there amongst each other.
Well, he had the fair thought to pick up the man too.
It's good.
So, and look, he's struggling for a bit of wind too. Well, it's tough, isn't it? Early games. Handball, Harvey. Big punch away, and Maloney wrapped up over the shoulder, said the umpire. And it's a Maloney free kick. The Double Blues like it, and a good crowd building.
Mistake there with the hands from Harvey. Had the opportunity to take it cleanly and kick the goal. We see big Simon Feast.
Simon Feast able to take that mark. Thompson, I thought, probably could have spoiled that, but Feast just with that extra reach was able to take it cleanly.
Here he goes. I love this man. He takes another mark. Will be paid.
Got to be a chance, hasn't he, for the next level, surely?
How old is he, though?
Doesn't matter, those big blokes, does it?
They get better with age. Ball comes to ground. Irvine quickly onto it, kicks it up again. We see Dan Toshia up against Weatherall. Has Weatherall got the pace to take on the experience? Dan Toshia.
This is a goal.
Big Burton, which way will it bounce? Will it come back in? Malloy's down. Burton, that's his second.
Malloy's got a corky, no question about that. He got a knee right on the thigh, but he held his line just magnificently. Malloy showed unbelievable character and courage. And he's paying the price right now.
Oh.
That's a classy goal, though.
Oh.
He meant that all the way.
I'll stop it.
That's a brilliant goal.
You just put it up and around and hope that it rolls through.
We'll go out the training track this week and you have a crack. Out of 10, I bet you can't get more than 3.
Yeah, neither would you. As the ball goes forward. Well, everyone was clean bowled. Harvey flicks it forward. They're able to run. King was creamed. It was Lennon who got him and gave away the free kick. And Phil Coburn. Well, they're crucial free kicks, but they're there, and coaches hate them. And Malloy is still feeling the effects. I think he got one more in the midriff than the thigh, by the way.
I'm sure it's the groin.
The pinky. As King drives it long. Gee, he ran close to the man on the mark and fluffed the kick comprehensively. Oh, James. Allah Peel. Oh, he's kicked that. This is a monster goal.
Yep.
And the goal umpire likes it. Oh, they'll talk about that for a while, the Redlegs. James Allah Peel launched himself at that one, mid-air connected, and snaffled a ripper.
Well, that's where you need to be. That kick was a muff. But look at James, works to the front square of this pack and reads that spoil brilliantly. Quickly onto his left, ever so quickly, and accurately, more important.
We get a chance, we might get our boundary righties down there. He's on the ball. What's happening down there, big fella?
Yeah, Scott Clarkson's coming off on as Malloy just heads to the locker room to loosen the jockstrap. I think he got a nasty one right where it hurts.
Again, the ball's back in.
Holding the ball. Good decision.
He's in a bit of pain.
I reckon there's a bit of a breeze favouring Archie here. I wouldn't mind backing him.
So Archie, well, outside 50 metres, I think he's got the distance. He has. Ken Sheldon was right. He's called it. But when is he ever wrong, David Mackay?
How about that one, David? You rate that one as a good goal?
I rate that as a ripper goal. That is a team lifter, by the way. Puts them back 3 points in front. But the ease at which he kicked the goal was just phenomenal. He just 3 steps into it, went bang, and backed himself in. He is a powerful kick, this kid. I think at 24, his AFL aspirations are gone, but he was a player I thought if he got himself fit and committed early in his career, had the ability to play AFL, but fitness for him was the problem.
Stop writing players off, David.
Certainly at a stage now, though, where he has to cement himself at this level, and I think this is a real good year, a real important year for him.
As we're back in the middle, 35 plays 32. I might remind you that Ben Thompson at 24 last year was the oldest player in the draft, and Archie's 23, rising 24. And you've got to be particularly lucky to be picked up. That's a great mark, Lennon. This fellow's got character oozing all over him and a bit of class as well. To Soderstrom, the left boot into the midfield. Oh, it's aerial ping pong, isn't it? Powell goes after it. Oh, just took his eye off the ball just that split second. Kenny Sheldon didn't like it. Scotty Doreen flicked it out, and Powell was good enough to recover. But umpire Humphreys has seen an infringement, and it's going back the way of Doreen. A long ball in towards West at full forward. Miller missed it comprehensively. McIntosh misses nothing. Feeds it out to Harvey with pace. Off he goes. I like this fella. Straightens and settles. Oh, it looks good. Right through the middle, Harvey. Talk about character and quality. He's got the lot.
There's no doubt about that. Anthony Harvey, a real player, I believe. And just the way McIntosh just collected that football. What a player he is and has been. But that's about it. You balance up, you get your body straight and square towards the goal. If you get run down, well, so be it. But if you get the opportunity to run like that, if you do get your kick away, you don't miss.
So the lead here is seesawing. Again, we see Norwood up by 3 points. Tough work.
It's good play by Cunningham and Doreen, able to tidy up both the Sturt opportunities when they looked likely to get away from the midfield.
So Feast up with Thompson now. Dumps the ball forward, does Thompson. Comes to ground, coming through is James. James onto his left leg, puts it high. Out in front is O'Brien, couldn't take it. West is there also. Bryan butters up for a second go. He's thrown onto his boot. I think he's kicked it. He has. That's O'Brien's first. Norwood move out to a 9-point margin.
This is great football, and it's a great 5-minute burst here by the Redlegs, answering with 2 in a row after the Archie goal. But gee, great strength, O'Brien. Just great strength. His legs are like tree trunks, and they really did pay advantage then.
Down the boundary, Mike Parsons, what do you have for us this time?
Alexander Katsaros comes on for his first run for Sturt, goes straight onto the half-forward flank where Todd Ferguson has vacated that and headed to the bench.
Katsaros, in his second game, has warmed the bench, and they love coming on when things are hotting up like this. It's out of bounds. Now, Neil, fellas, what do you think about him? At this stage, he's one kick, and we're 19.5 minutes in.
Well, that probably says it all, David. He's certainly taking a little while to find his feet, but he is a very accomplished player.
What do you do when a player with his obvious ability just is struggling to find the ball?
Well, perhaps one thing that Coach Peter Rode could consider is to put him on the ramp at Nathan Irvin and just take him out of the game, bring him into the game as well. So getting a double barrel effect.
White off to Irvin. Irvin a long bomb into the forward line. Stanfield, the big fly, set himself the big fellow and took off. Got the wings. Clever work by Bowman. Flips it out to Cunningham, who's working tirelessly. This fellow is very impressive. Towards the grandstand wing. Feast two hands, almost completed the mark. Not quite. As we go down to Michael Parsons.
And just to confirm, Glenn Malloy's injury is as we thought, and he's just a little concerned about swelling now.
Take away the pain, leave the swelling. As Geddes tries to go away, but Cunningham picks up another free. He's finding plenty of the ball, this fellow. 11 and 4 for him. He's starring tonight. Harvey coming into the game, chips it forward to McIntosh. They're three midfield components working hard and doing it pretty well. Macca's outside 50. Looks to spear it long and low, goes towards full forward. Little nudge, Threadgold at the front was good enough. Just brings the ball down. O'Brien over the top, wraps it up. Maloney there, but there'll be a bounce.
I think that's a good sign for the Redlegs. I think where perhaps Cunningham has been taken out of the game by Powell, apart from perhaps the last 2 or 3 minutes where he's accumulated 2 or 3 possessions, it's seen Harvey and McIntosh both lift their rating and become influential players. So keep one down, but others bob up.
Weatherall kicks the ball forward. Good work by Irvine. She had plenty of experience there. Kicks the ball forward. Well, he taken out, he wasn't. The ball still pushed forward by the double blues. Archie should run onto it. The running player inside was Stanfield, a White. He didn't use him. He's gone for the goals. Couldn't quite kick it. Had chances there. Had White running inside. Maybe should have used him and gave him a little bit more time.
What do you do, Ken, as a coach there? He had the player calling for the ball. He is enigmatic, isn't he? He can kick those. He lifts their team lifting goals if you get them, but they deflate you if you don't.
Well, I think if you look at that on replay, I think 99 out of 100 judges would suggest that perhaps he should have given it and then shepherded, but perhaps he has no left hand. Not confident on his left-hand handball. Perhaps that's one of his weaknesses. Perhaps that's why 24 is still in the SNFL.
Comment Ken Sheldon. As Thompson soars above the pack, couldn't bring it down. White bustles hard for it. Over the top of it, Katsaris also. King came up with it, but the ball had already gone across the line. We're 22.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Ball thrown in.
Cunningham strong off the ball, getting a little bit of extra attention by Patura. That's a good battle as we watch that unfold. Scotty Doring claimed and held onto by Brody Atkinson. Too long, said the ump. Scotty Doreen, who's been impressive, 9 kicks and a handball for him. He's working himself into this game. Oh, the kick was dangerous. Thompson was good enough. The kick needed to be centimetre perfect, which it was in the final analysis. Feeding it off from Carslake to Cunningham. Oh, that's his first real error out than the kick out of bounds on the full on the other side. In the first quarter, he has done everything right, that kid. Feast now switches the play. Threadgold goes to the far side. This is reminiscent of Port Adelaide, isn't it? They just switched it beautifully. Soderstrom, well, he needs to work hard. The Redlegs were running him down. A long bomb in towards Stanfield at centre-half forward. Stanfield couldn't get there, but he gets the handball back from Lennon. He worked pretty hard to get into the second effort. Stanfield, oh, and off the ground, it's another one. That's a Modra. But this time it's Burton, and he gets his third.
And what a passage of play by the Double Blues. A switch of play from the experienced fullback Threadgold. Down the ground they brought it. just maintaining possession all the way. But what an ability by Burton to be able to twist himself inside out. He was behind, but he was able to make something of nothing. He actually got that ball to his advantage and then kicked it out of the air.
Well, the footy vernacular, that is a Modra, isn't it? Peter Road. Well, I think there's a fair amount of anxiety there still. He's concerned that he hasn't killed off the double blues at this stage.
8-point margin, 7-2 plays, 6-6. Double blues will go forward again. They're going backwards, not forward. Comes out, Dyrene over the top to Cunningham again for his 18th possession in this first half. Puts it forward to West. Was it O'Brien? It was. Couldn't take it. Threadgold cleans up. The ball will be brought out wide again. Coming across with the running player now, running through hard.
Soderstrom.
That's Soderstrom. Kicks it high, not giving his forwards much of a chance there. At the back was Twitt. He's knocked it on forward again. Reynolds taken high.
What about Lennon? That was beautiful, wasn't it? He just put his head in, and that is great courage. He just knew the free kick was coming. Watch him. He just, yep, there it is.
And again, very capable of kicking this is Bruce Lennon. Gee, good football by the double blues.
So Bruce Lennon outside 50, hasn't quite made the distance. The ball's gone over the top. No one's touched it. The umpire is indicating it's a goal. And the double blues fans there are happy. That's his second.
And you talk about Peter Road, he will just hate that, being a dour defender himself. To see your players just clean miss the football on the last line of defence and let a ball go through, which really shouldn't have. Oof, does that get right up here? It's good.
As we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary.
And John Richter comes on for Sturt, and Geddes comes off and takes a little rest.
Andrew Geddes has done a fair bit of sweeping across half-back. He looks pretty sound in that position. 4 points to the margin. The double blues enjoy the lead. We're 26 minutes into the second term. Almost half-time as Richter, cold off the bench, couldn't quite gather that win, but Scotty Doreen does. Over the head of Roger James. Harvey mops up nicely. Got clobbered by Lennon. Play on, said the umpire. Let's Obbs run inside 50 and shoot for goal. It's a long, long bomb. O'Brien did very well. Bustled Threadgold out of it and then took front position.
Yeah, just sheer strength. Fighting hard for front position, lining up for his second now. But look at this, jostling hard. Just beautiful body work.
His kick one. Averages almost a goal a game. We'll get a good angle of this. O'Brien, will he check side it or will he run around? No, he just jills it straight. He had enough of it and it looks pretty good off the boot. The goal umpire indicates 2 fingers, it's a goal, and the Redlegs hit the lead by 2 points.
A great quarter of football it's been. Tit for tat. Look at this, quickly out of the middle. Harvey runs onto it, brilliantly scoops it up. Obbs dropped it, but then after making a mistake, just goes bang, and that's really what you're looking for. One out here, good body strength in the front position. Copybook footy, really.
8-2 plays 7-6, a 2-point ball game. Thompson's done well since he's been on. He's jumping all over the big fella and Feast. Those fresh legs. Bang. Bowman from behind.
The ball.
Trying to bring the ball again. Bowman's in there again. Double Blues need the numbers. They've got it there. So have the Redlegs. And they just bottle it up again by the big fella in the pit.
You reckon that's holding the ball?
Bloody oath. He was sat upon and couldn't release the football cleanly.
No, you've got to have prior opportunity. The umpire would have deemed that he had no prior opportunity. No wonder coaches yell at umpires. They don't even know the rules. This is a man who knows every rule in the book and how to exploit them.
Glad you added that.
McIntosh, a long bomb, looking pretty good as Robert Neal. Now that's his first mark, and this might be a confidence booster because he needs just a little bit of confidence. Chips it in well. He just wanted to hit the target, didn't he? It's been a nightmare for him so far. And Thompson's brought it all up, holding the ball. And the coach is ropeable when he should be.
Second time he's hit the coach's glass.
Brody Atkinson being spoken to by umpire Kevin Chambers.
You can really see the frustration, like you can feel for the frustration of Peter Road. Like Sturt really are playing all over Norwood. They're just not able to capitalise up forward. It's only Norwood's brilliance in cleanliness that's kept them in the game.
Stanfield on the 50-metre line. Burton, front position, he's kicked free. Well, he's causing some havoc down there, the blonde-haired fella. I think he's a lot blonder this year than he was last year, by the way. It's obviously the result of a big pre-season. And Julian Burton, the former Port Adelaide player, really making a name for himself at full forward for the Double Blues.
Blood rule. Big fella and Barry Stanfield will come off.
Just back onto Burton, David.
Looks fit, doesn't he?
He has. He's worked extremely hard over the last number of pre-seasons, but this one I think is culminating in perhaps his best ever.
Where's Liberatore?
The way that he's presented himself, and like he really can play, Burton.
No, he can. I agree with you. But I think if you talk to people at Port Adelaide, they thought he had plenty of ability, just never got himself fit.
That's right. But again, you know, I've seen him out on the track, 40 degrees, working hard, early, late,
and reaping the rewards. 3 goals won already tonight. He'll make this 4 and give the Double Blues the lead back, and he's done it. They lead by 4 points. We're 29 and a half minutes into the second quarter, and the lead has changed now 7 times.
It's a pretty big performance, 4 out of 8 prior to half-time. As your side's full forward, you're pretty happy with that. And it's been a mixed bag too, Mark. He's shown some real skills.
Yeah, it's good to see Barry Stanfield just starting to find the footy late in this second quarter. But Burton really has been a match winner so far with his 4 goals, 3 in the second quarter. We see the umpire back in the middle. And the Double Blues go to a 4-point margin. Ball comes forward again. Regler keen to go in at half-time. Up by a few points. The big fella there was Feast again. He just used his body strength. His upper body strength against Miller. He's not a small customer either.
Norwood really have picked up in the centre bounce clearances. They're dominating this quarter in that area of the game.
So number 39, Seamus Maloney, will kick the ball forward. It goes high. Feast has worked down there again. White's in front. The mark might be paid behind a Bowman. It's not given to him. He's quick with the hands to go forward. Looks like diaries. We hear the half-time siren here, and the Double Blues are up by 4 points, Ken.
And rightfully so. I think they should be a long way further ahead. They've had a lot more of the footy inside 50 to me, but they just haven't been able to capitalise. But gee, just the cleanliness, the sureness of the midfielders in Harvey and particularly McIntosh in that quarter, I think really did turn it around for the Norwood side.
One player there on screen, Ken, you can see is Cunningham. Pretty impressive half.
It certainly was. First quarter magnificent. Matthew Power did quieten him in the second.
So 6 goals to the Double Blues in that quarter. They go in leading 8-6-54 to 8-2-50. You're watching SANFL Night Football exclusively to ABC Sport. Third quarter underway from Adelaide Oval, a 4-point margin in favour of the Double Blues. What a big clash it's already been. Cunningham, the star of the first quarter for the Redlegs, and Barnaby French now in ruck for the Double Blues after starring at centre half back in the first half.
A significant move by coach Peter Rode of the Norwood Football Club. Scratcher Neal has gone back onto Burton. Burton kicked 4 goals. 3 he kicked in the second quarter when his direct opponent Molloy had to leave the ground through a corky.
Burton 4 goals, 1 from 6 kicks. Scratcher Neal, on the other hand, a pretty ineffective 3 kicks, all in the last few minutes of the second quarter. Matty James, former Eagle, now with the Redlegs. He's been there a few years now, starting on the interchange bench, and it appears that he's come onto the wing to try and curb the influence of Lennon. French thumps it down. Atkinson couldn't get clear of the traffic. Lennon was good enough to recover, just toe pokes one forward into space, allows Twitt to try and run onto the ball. Beating him to it was Carslake, and Twitt just drags the little fella across the line and forces a throw in and receives a fair bit of encouragement. The things he's done, Ken, have been pretty impressive.
Yes, he hasn't had a lot of possessions, but has certainly shown a little bit, and must remember that he really is only a young player and a big future.
Tap forward by King. He finds Harvey, goes over the top as James puts it up towards Miller, and a good mark out in front. The big fella and Miller. He sees a lead from that big O'Brien. Couldn't take it. West couldn't either. The other James puts it around his body. I think he's kicked it. No, it's touched. Great desperation shown by the Double Blue defender in Johnny Richter.
A tremendous snapshot by James, getting to the front and square again of the pack. received the handball. But what a magnificent effort by Richter, running against the flow and just desperately lunging to get a fingertip to it.
Threadgold, the skipper, forces the ball to the far side. French, first man there. McIntosh manhandled off the ball. Play on, said the umpire. The Redlegs are able to push it forward, but defending stoutly is Soderstrom on the last line of defence. The former North Adelaide Glenelg and now Sturt player. He's had a few homes. So's Patura, a couple of AFL clubs. Now he finds a home, and Powell's had a couple as well with South Adelaide and the Double Blues. So they're a foreign legion, this Double Blues side, no question of that. And Irvin, who started his career in Melbourne, Ken, went to the Redlegs and now with the Double Blues. They just keep mounting, but they're recruited beautifully.
Into the Sydney Swans too, but I think most players in most clubs nowadays, David, have had a relative, well, a number of clubs, like a good majority of them.
Miller thumps it down. Harvey was pulled off the ball. Atkinson recovers, tries to feed it off to Patura, couldn't do so. Obbs keeps the ball inside the line, gains valuable meterage. No, he doesn't, says the boundary umpire, and the ball will come back.
Speedster there and Obbs. Been electrifying tonight with his pace around that wing.
Well, he's run professionally in the summer, Mark. Won a couple of professional races. I suppose it just adds to the income, doesn't it?
Big Miller up against Feast. Feast holds front position, got his hand to it. Richter goes to the ground with a football. Finally gets his boot to it as he does go down. Obbs to game, the player we spoke of, has kicked it out. Unfortunately couldn't keep it in. And the Double Blues will bring it back in through Seamus Maloney. So Maloney drives it up. Feast in front, couldn't take it, tries to knock it his way again. In there also is Weatherall, but he too couldn't get the player or the ball in.
Feast has played particularly well in this game, although he was blitzed, I thought, when Thompson came onto the field in the second quarter out of the midfield bounces. It gave Norwood some fair bit of effectiveness, I think.
Really tight at the moment. We've got a chance through pit now, puts it up high. In front was O'Brien, and the back is Cunningham. The Double Blues defender and Chris Redgold goes to the safety of the boundary line. So the game at the moment is having a little bit of a quiet moment. I'm sure it's about to explode.
Play by Threadgold too, no doubt of his intention.
Miller opposed to French. Jim West comes in late, forces it behind the back. Free kick there, and the advantage allowed to fly as Irvin. Well, Lennon dispatches the ball forward. There's Irvin and Bowman. Well, he started to dine at centre-half back. McIntosh, a rare mistake, crashes in, caught Richter high. Richter went down holding the head. Obbs crashed through, held his line beautifully. Back comes Macca for another run at the cherry. Puts up his hand and calls the player forward. Off goes Obbs. A long bomb and a quick replay of Macca coming in, and Richter. A Richter-sized headache. That was 6 on the Richter scale. As Patura feeds it off to the big fellow in Feast, dispatches a hurried kick, did it pretty well in the final analysis. Weatherall on the left, drills it long and low along the outer wing, and good defensive work, Bowman. McIntosh crashes through again. They're working pretty hard, the Redlegs. Cunningham flips it forward. This is where they're really building. They're coming down from defence. Harley off a half-back line, and Feast sets himself the big man. Last line of defence, Powell at the back door, and I think he'll be quite content to see the line, but O'Brien crashes into him, feeds it forward, and in the finish, a point conceded.
Yes, real pressure football. What a great smother by Barnaby French moments earlier. Snapshot for goal, but he was able to get the both hands over it.
A couple of good touches there by Feast as well. Ken on that last line. Very good play. See the ball brought back in again. Looks like wide up in front. It was. Ball comes to the ground. Feast is in there again. He's doing a rover's job as well. Atkinson throws it onto his boot. Game's starting to get a little bit more pressure out there at the moment. As we can see again, players throwing themselves. McIntosh's in there again. In there also is James. And Atkinson and Weatherall for the Double Blues.
I think your call of the game about to explode is pretty well spot on. I think Norwood have opened this quarter with more intensity than the Double Blues, but the Double Blues really now starting to lift their rating.
2-point ball game. We're 7 minutes into the third quarter, and the advantage allowed to go again. Archie was released by Atkinson. almost run down in the final analysis, but a long bomb towards the full forward line. We're forcing it away with Scratcher Neal, the former St Kilda grand final player, just finding his feet.
So I think that's a good move by Coach Peter Rode. He really is restricted at fullback with the absence of Malloy now, the chosen opponent for Burton.
I thought it was a fair matchup too, Malloy on Burton. Thompson down to Cunningham, hurried kick, into space it goes, just inside the line. I thought he was, but he wasn't. Matty James. And a very big crowd enjoying this magnificent clash. This may well be the SANFL's future. Adelaide Oval, a perfect venue, under lights on a Friday night, in perfect conditions. Free kick to Double Blues. Archie steals away with it. He is a burglar, this fellow. Inside 50, chips it forward. Offline and a point. And Clemens just remonstrates with Atkinson and says, I'll see you later.
It's arguable whether that ball should have went to the front of the square. It would depend on the team disciplines that Sturt have and do apply. But that's the second one that RG has missed from inside 50.
As the ball comes forward again, it goes up. O'Brien in the front position, set on top by Threadgold. Threadgold pleading to the umpire for holding the football.
It's a fair plea. It's a fair question, I think, Mark.
It's there, it's down. He's sitting on top of it, making no attempt to get rid of it.
Probably the right decision.
Maybe a bit tough. Miller's flicked it out. Over the top is James. He brought it back far enough. I think he may have. He has, he's happy with it, and the umpire is as well.
See, that's just real class. That's a terrific goal. It's a second snapshot goal for the game, but look at this, turns himself. Beautiful goal, great camera angle.
See the young Roger James, the second goal for the afternoon, or the night it is.
So it's a 3-point lead to the Redlegs. We're 9.5 minutes into the third quarter. And James kicks another one. His goal in the second quarter was a gem. French thumps the ball down. Scotty Doreen forces the ball forward. Obst and Twitt battle it out. Thompson in there. Clever work, Irvine releases Atkinson. A high ball, a little 9-9, and under it, it's White. The big left footer is 45 out, a tight angle. He'll go long to the goals. Now he'll go short. And the lead is on from Burton. In front of Scratcher Neal. Burton forces the ball forward. Neal was strong enough to manhandle him and push him away. But the umpire said, held when not in possession. And Neal is not happy. And Burton, the prominent forward of the second quarter with 3, has 4 for the night. Steps away, bombs it in, but he's offline. The goal umpire goes galloping.
We see the big fella in Barry Stanfield. He's yet to kick a goal for the night. He lines up from around about 45 metres out on about a 45-degree angle. Big Barry Stanfield puts it on its way. He puts it high. He's got the distance. I think he's got the accuracy. He's happy about it. The umpire will be as well. And the flags go up. That's Big Barry Stanfield's first goal.
And an important one too for Stanfield. He's combining along with White and Burton. Burton, the player of the first half, with 4 goals, 3 in the second quarter. Stanfield needs to stand up and make a contribution in that 3-pronged tall attack, and that was a very good goal.
The leaders changed 12 times in this match. If you've just joined us, as we said at the head, the Double Blues trail by 9 points at quarter time. They led by 4 points at half time, and they now lead by 4 points again as we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary.
And while that goal was being kicked, Seamus Maloney has come off with a blood nose for the Double Blues, and Scott Robinson has gone in to take his place. Michael,
while we've got you, Jared Malloy left the field midway through the second quarter. Have you got an update on his injury?
Yes, I heard Ken Sheldon say that he had a corky, mate. It's a corked cod. That's all I can say. It's a nasty injury to the lower midriff.
Those North Adelaide ruckmen just can't stop them, can you? This is Atkinson, who's been outstanding in the first half. Releases Twitt, the new recruit from the ACT under-18s. Burton, who's kicked 4 at full forward, couldn't bring that one down. He's been a focal point for the Double Blues. Weatherall goes through. Archie tries to dispatch when the pressure is intense as Clements feeds it out to Harvey. A quick release forward. Over the top of that was Carslake, and he's dragged off it. The free kick's going to Weatherall.
And this little fellow really has had a big impact on the game since quarter time.
So Weatherall's kicked to the point of the square. White, who's tried to claim everything. Burton did very well, the big full forward. And now Harvey, a long, long bomb. Pichura over his head. It was a clearing kick, an important one. What a crowd, Ken, a big crowd. We might mention, first time in yonks, we've seen cars lined up waiting to get into the Adelaide Oval car park, and I think the SANFL football public have voted with their feet.
It's a magnificent atmosphere. Reminds me so much of last year's Anzac Day clash.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Big feast for the Double Blues up against Miller for the Norwood side. Ball comes down. James in there, Richter comes through as well. The free kick's been given. Ball's brought across some running players. Good kick forward. The Double Blues, opportunity here to set it up. Comes in high. Burton knows Stanfield. No, it's White.
And that's what they need, the Double Blues. Those 3 big blokes down there just need to have to put an equal contribution in. Burton, he was the one that kept them in the game ahead, in fact, at half-time. These other players now have to stand up.
That's unimpressive, but White has done a lot of work tonight. He kicks his first goal for the evening. The Double Blues extend their lead.
In the first half, we've seen the Sturt side have enough of the ball inside 50 to be well ahead, but Norwood, they just rebounded out of defence, particularly led by Bowman, Dan Tokia, Harley and Pitt.
As we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary.
And a fair bit happening with the ruckman. Norwood have just changed Yerbury for Thompson. He's come off, and Feast back in the centre this time, but last 2 centre bounces, he's moved to centre half back, and Stanfield has actually taken the centre knock. So both coaches playing games with their ruckman to see if they can get that initial advantage out of the middle.
Thanks, Mike. So it's Feast from the left, the big thump forward. Bowman was up to it and forced it down. A quick kick forward was Matty James, who started the game on the interchange bench. Now King, in the new jumper, number 19, claimed and goes to ground. The umpire said he had no chance of dispatching that. We'll have a bounce, fellas. We're just on 17 and a half minutes into the third quarter, Ken, and it has been a rugged first half.
Oh, look, the lead has changed many, many times. The game has been fantastic. The 1%ers, as we just seen then, the tackles, the smothers, the blocks, they've been very evident from both teams. A commitment enormous.
Roger James, who's kicked 2 goals. This is Barnaby French, the big man from Ironbank, playing well at centre half back. He also had a stint in the ruck. Stanfield, heavily bandaged. Irvin, whose first quarter was unbelievable. Off to Lennon, who really has done everything perfectly tonight. Executes a nice squeeze forward. White couldn't come over the pack. Atkinson working hard, tries to crash through Ops. Ops claims him. The kick is away. Irvin crashes into Harley. It's a great contest. McIntosh feeds it out. It was beautiful work. Releases the little fella in James onto Harley. Further afield, it's Miller. Working hard, the big intimidator. But Barnaby French really has held him magnificently all night. Miller again, claimed by French. Obbs through the clinches, did very well. And there's a free kick behind place of the umpire. Obbs had his head taken off and will receive the free.
Back to your comment on Barnaby French. He has done some very impressive things, including a tremendously strong ruck contest at centre bounce and a smother in the last line of defence, which prevented a goal to Norwood.
Obbs from the outer wing drives it towards centre half forward. Archie, two-handed attempt, couldn't bring it down. Threadgold fighting hard for it. 16 is Cunningham on screen, and his stats in the first half were particularly impressive. Ken, 13 kicks, 6 handballs. He dominated the first half.
He dominated the first quarter, and then he come back into it with a little burst in the second quarter. I think Matthew Powell, who was shifted onto him by coach Phil Carman, did a particularly good job in curbing his influence in the second quarter.
French again comes flying out. James pushes it back quickly. Back there is Feast. From behind was O'Brien. Comes down to Johnny Richter. He finds his teammate forward, Matty Powell.
Cramp, Archie, Ken.
So Matty Powell punches the ball up. No real direction. Just finds a big fella, number 43 for the Redlegs, and Newbury. So Newbury quick to get it moving. Puts it back out. Up comes Jimmy West. Couldn't take it. High tackle there on King. He will receive the free kick. And we see that player, Ken Archie, coming off.
So we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary.
Yes, Archie coming off, being a very good player around the forward line for Sturt. Just a touch of cramp, and Seamus Maloney goes back on. He's had his nose straightened out and the bleeding stopped, so he's back into the fray.
Forward, again, not good direction by King. West is there, holding the double blues player up.
It's one of the things he's done well tonight. West has held the ball in the air. He hasn't had much of the footy. In fact, I think West has got 2 points from 2 kicks, so he hasn't had a lot. 1 goal, 1 last week, 2 points tonight for last year's Ken Farmer medalist.
Feast, Miller. Feast the middle of the duel. He finds Weatherall. He's taken quickly by Obst. And really, Ken Shelton, this game tonight, the tackling has just been exceptional.
It has been. The tackles, the smothers, just the preparedness of both sides to commit their body in one-on-one contests all over the ground. It's been an enormous game of football.
Feast again, pushes it down, butters up, takes his own ball, kicks it up forward. This is Ferguson. He needs support. He's got the running Lennon out wide. He'll go on his left leg. He does that. Ill-directed kick again. Bowman's there. Also is Stanfield. The ball pops out. White goes back. He's found Geddes. Geddes gets around. He kicks it up as well. Where's Burton? Couldn't take it. The ball's cleaned up by Pitt.
Matty James, an important touch then, just enough to bring the kick undone as Harley comes away from half-back, a high floater where you kill your forwards with that sort of disposal. And now it's Patura, who streaks away, switches the direction of play. That's a beautiful kick. And Lennon again, who really is controlling his wing. He's had 2 opponents tonight. James has got the job now. A long bomb in. Good work, Neil. Just got the important fist. And he seems to be growing in stature, Neil. And there on screen, Julian Burton with 4 goals, 1. The star of the double blues forward zone.
Crowd really has enjoyed tonight's contest. Have to be in the vicinity of around about 14 or 15,000. And as we see Atkinson, he's caught plenty of attention. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind copping attention like that. Only 15, 20 metres out from goal.
That's exactly right, isn't it? Like it's a pretty serious tackle, fair dinkum, but Brodie, he'll regain his composure, and it's an important kick this for the double blues. You don't mind copping them high in the vicinity of the goals.
See the angle there on your screen at home. Atkinson's been very tidy tonight. He's yet to kick a goal.
He's had a great duel with Scott Doreen. Doreen has won for the Norwood side, wearing number 3.
18 possessions to Atkinson, 15 to Doreen.
10-point margin. Could go to 16 after this kick, I think it has. But right behind it, he's brought up his first goal for the night. Sturt now, they move on to 11 goals, 8. They lead the Redlegs 9 goals, 4.
One thing you can count on from Brodie Atkinson, when the chips are down, he'll be there. The engine room really needs to tick over. He'll be the one that's in there firing for you. A great player, big heart, a lot of courage, and I believe a real SANFL champion.
Well, we're looking forward to next week. Sturt and South at Adelaide Oval. They follow that up against the Eagles, and then West Adelaide, and then Glenelg. So they've got 4 games, the double blues at Adelaide Oval, and I think the faithful will return. Feast, dead heat that one. Loose ball falls. Twit off the ground, did pretty well, the youngster. Only 19 years of age. Bowman, who's controlled centre-half back and has beaten Stanfield tonight. There is a fitness concern over Stanfield. He hasn't done a lot of the pre-season work. Macca releases Cunningham. Just ran out of room, Cunningham. Macca comes back for another crack at it. Twit flicks it forward. Good vision. Out in the direction of Stanfield, who's almost run down by Harvey. He has the presence of mind to just jab it in forward. Well done, Harvey. It was a certain ball towards Geddes, and Clements and Geddes behind traffic. And there's an infringement, and the umpire's right on the spot. And that, Ken, I suppose, is the benefit of 3 umpires.
Yes, well, the kick will go to Norwood, but it was great courage by Harvey, great anticipation. And Clements has been reasonably solid at half-back for Norwood.
Feast again gets his hands to the ball. West, with desperation, lunges across, takes the ball, but the free kick has been given. Just trying to pick the player up. Looks like Atkinson from a distance. It's not. It's number 14, which is Scotty Robertson. Maybe just taken a little bit high, a little bit too much aggression shown there by the Redlegs defenders. Ball up again at the bottom. That was Atkinson this time. Feeds it across. The strong long left was one out here with Burton again. At the back was Neal. Punches it forward. Barry Stanfield couldn't keep the football in, and the umpire will come and throw it up.
Yes, Atkinson really is having a big impact on the game in this early part of the third quarter. Middle part of the third quarter, I should say, has got away from me. It's really been a great tussle.
Perfect conditions. A great atmosphere here at Adelaide Oval. It's all been brought to you by ABC Sport Live, as it does throughout the whole season in 1998. Archie just suffering from a little bit of cramp. Very eager to get out there. Double blues at the moment, 16-point margin. Stanfield up, pushes the ball forward. Atkinson again, very smart, very clever. Takes the ball from the ruck duel. Foot race on here with Weatherall. Will he come up with it? He can't. Just taken plenty of Norwood players around to add some support. Maybe a free kick, Ken?
Close. Good structure by the Sturt side. Lennon, his great experience.
Burton well down the field. Kicks them well outside of 50. Pushes up high. Again, the Redlegs have the players at the fall of the ball. No, Carslake. It's picked up. Has it got through? No, it hasn't.
Geddes.
Another behind from Andrew Geddes.
Weatherall started in the first quarter, I think, on Cunningham, who really did blitz him, but since quarter time, when shifted off that role, has really come to his own, and his work rate in the forward line would really impress his coach, Phil Carman.
I think that's the thing about the double blues. Their defensive work has been very solid. So too have the Redlegs. We're 20.5 minutes into the third quarter, and things are tight. You couldn't have hoped for a better match of football. For the opening one under lights at Adelaide Oval. Feast from behind tries the spoil. Matty James was upended. Yerbury goes after it, forces it forward. Bowman and Airy. Feast again. He's working hard. His second and third efforts are good. Atkinson somehow got through. He got a couple high. Just kept going. Feast to Irvin is good work now. It's Twit. Goes wide. What a good twist of pace.
Well done.
And around the corner he straightens up the little rover. But this time he misses.
Atkinson is on fire.
Well, the young Einstein, David Mackay, he's good. I haven't seen him before, only 18 years old.
Jared Twit. Now, what are you calling him? Einstein. Okay. Fair enough.
Good
Mark
little
Nally.
play. You don't see, you can just pick a player with composure, with experience. Maybe not that much experience at 18, but geez, plenty of composure. This player here, Brady Atkinson, on his way of getting his second Maguire medal with the performance tonight. Double blues working a lot harder than the Redlegs. Ball's pushed forward. Cunningham, who had a fantastic first half in the vicinity of 18 possessions, goes up high. From behind was Patura. fighting hard. A great one-on-one duel. But what will he do? He sits on top of it.
That's all over. That's all over. Now, player drags the ball under.
No.
You've got to get it out.
It's a one-on-one duel.
I'm telling you, you drag the ball under. It's your job to get it out, and that's what the rule's designed for. Keep the game flowing, and that's not on. That's a free kick umpire.
The left arm of his opponent, pinning it to his body. Good decision by the umpire.
Here, Ken Sheldon.
You blokes study a rule book and get on with it. Obst thumps it forward. Comment Ken Sheldon, Mark Nayley. I told you they know nothing about the rules. And Powell, solidly over the top of the ball, forced a spill. And it's three-quarter time in a big clash here at Adelaide Oval. In a tight one, Phil Carman looks to his bench. And the three-quarter time score shows us that the Double Blues are leading by 18 points.
It's a big quarter by the Double Blues. They started a little slowly, I thought, out of the blocks. Norwood were a bit quicker, but gee, they did rebound, particularly through Atkinson and their three-pronged forward. Stanfield and White kicked goals, taking a bit of ease the burden off Burton, who had kicked 4 in the first half. But Atkinson and Weatherald, they were the players, combining with Irvin and Lennon at centre wing.
Really is set for a fantastic quarter, as we see by 18 points. But at the full-time scores of three-quarter time here, you're seeing the Redlegs. They're 9-4-58. The Double Blues in charge at the moment. They're 11 goals, 10-76. And you're watching it live and exclusive to ABC Sport. Start of the last quarter here at Adelaide Oval. Norwood 9-4-58, Sturt 11-10-76. The big fella Feast should get the first touch. He grabs it out of the air, takes a heavy knock from French on the way through. Coming out hard, quick little flick forward. Geddes dodges and weaves and ducks. Couldn't quite get it out. Ball's kicked up high. Going back on it hard was Patura. The bounce has favoured the Redlegs through James. James around his body. Wouldn't they love the goal to start this last quarter? It hasn't gone that way. It's gone out of bounds on the full.
Again, a set of bounce clearance in the favour of Norwood. They have dominated that area of the game.
Ball's kicked in. It's high. Feast again at the back. He puts his hands on it. Does he give a contest, that big fella? Should never have contemplated leaving SANFL football. He is a good player and worthy of an opportunity at AFL level.
This is Johnny Richter, back to the club last year after a season away in Western Australia. A high bomb, Harley under it all. That's a good grab, took front position, showed great courage and good strength.
I agree with that, David. It's a difficult mark to take that, not knowing or knowing that they're coming down on you. Eyes only for the football. Good.
Harley brings Neil into the play, a long one towards centre half forward. Loose ball falls, James over the top. What's the umpire saying? It's a dead heat, fellas. We're 1.5 minutes in, an 18-point ball game, and the Redlegs, last year's premiers, are doing the chasing. Barnaby French, the big fella's done pretty well over the top of it. Now Powell tries to get clear, but Scotty Doreen did pretty well, Ken. Just had the presence of mind to grab the jumper and drag him down.
They really have tidied up each other well, the two sides. Very committed to the one percenters.
West thumps it down. Soderstrom toe pokes it forward. Obst, Thompson, a left footer around the corner. Oh, it's come off. James has got it. He jumped right into the hole. Feast was back there expecting the big kick, but it dropped short. And Roger James, who's already kicked 2 goals, in fact 2-1, a chance for another.
You can see that on replay. A good mark by James. It's money for old rope for him. He should put this through for his 3rd goal.
And he's hit the post. Well. That was an important one, and they needed that.
Really was an important kick. It now gives Sturt the opportunity for a 2-goal turnaround. Their kickouts have been fairly successful all night. The Redlegs team adopting the zone.
Threadgold brings the ball back in. Feast from behind. Over the top of Thompson. The umpire rushes in quickly. Number 16 is Cunningham. Missed most of last year with a serious knee injury. Came back for the finals.
With a vengeance.
Got the Jack Odie Award. Fantastic grand final performance by that player. Ball's thrown on the boot. Forward again. Norwood player trying desperately. That was Harley. Couldn't quite get out, but the desperation shown by both sides hasn't stopped. It started in the first quarter. It's been a close game all night. The biggest margin was 18 points, which it was at three-quarter time for the whole game.
Bounce. Burton from behind, stolen away by Obst. Gets a high handball over the top, cleverly done. Harley down to James. That's Matthew James. Forward he goes, and Thompson has marked about half forward, somewhere between half forward and the outer wing. Chips it forward, allows the runners to set it up. Clements looks for some support. Thompson comes again, claimed, he goes to ground. It was a great tackle behind play. Roger James. Ferguson. Now Richter. In turn, 14 is Robinson, who spent most of the game on the interchange bench. Now having a run, as is Richter, who started on the bench as well. Lennon, who has been very clever off his wing. Richter charges. He's a raging bull, this fellow, and bombs it in towards full forward. Oh! I thought it was a big fly, and twin. Oh, Einstein.
Point too high.
Well, I got to tell you, we're going to have to retract that Einstein nickname if he keeps doing that on the goal line. Jared Twitkin had a sitter.
Yeah, it's just indecision there, whether to grab the footy or kick it off the ground, and he just made the wrong decision. And look at the anguish on the face.
Mum and Dad have come down from Wagga to watch him. I dare say they'll be watching this on the replay Saturday afternoon. And he'll cop a fair old ribbing over that.
Feast again, just stumped the ball back towards Twit again. Twit from just inside 50. Has he got home? He hasn't. Another poster. Keep
Persevering, son, it'll count. What a tremendous spoil from the kick out back by Feast. Crunch.
I think Phil Carman has a fair regard for that lad, because normally a coach would be just ripping his hair out, but he knows that this kid is only going to get better.
He's got that look about him, and he's going to give you everything.
He's rangy, and you can see that he just gives total commitment. It's not a bad CV to come with, is it?
Ball to be brought back in again. Feast in exactly the same position. Well, he thumped it back. He couldn't quite get his hands to it. Atkinson, the right spot at the right time. Gives it back to Irvine, who's been great this game. Oh, great courage and great commitment shown. That was Newell. Gives it off to the captain of McIntosh. Mac is trying hard. Ball's back again. Richter just needs to pick it up. He's pushed in the back. The umpire's allowed him to put the game to flow. Maybe should have received
they
a free
haven't
kick.
played any soft ones tonight. To their great credit, I must say.
But what a tremendous spoil again from the defensive position by Barnaby French. Been very impressed by Sturt's discipline, just to do the correct things.
Yerbury wins that one. Down it falls. Matty James over the top. Lennon 17 over the top of him, wraps him up. And umpire Mike Humphreys indicates 6.5 minutes into this final quarter, he'll set the big fellows at it again. It's Yeast from the... Simon Feast from the front. Sorry, fellas. It's a medical term. Ferguson got it from Geddes, but the kick wasn't up to scratch, was it? Out of bounds on the full, and very little pressure, which is surprising because there's been pressure in abundance all night. Clements from half back. Charges into it and bombs a long one forward. Into the half-forward zone it goes. Big pack, nobody can bring that one down. Matty James forward, off it goes to Cunningham. Cunningham dispatches forward, kick number 16 for him. 17 handballs as well, not a bad night's work. This is Soderstrom working hard, feeding it wider still. Back it went from Patura to Powell, but the kick was astray, and James just mops up.
So James, the play loose, he's found him in O'Brien. Good fingertip mark. Going back and might pass, and what's happening now on the boundary line?
Dudley Archie getting ready to come back on the ground for Ferguson, recovered from the cramp which brought him off just before the break.
So Phil Carman still making changes. He's used his bench well, as we see O'Brien will kick outside of 50. Puts it high, won't make the distance. Players back there, is it a touch? I think it is. The umpire indicates it has. So another behind. So 17-point margin here at the 8-minute mark of this final quarter.
Ken, one of the things I noticed about Norwood's forward zone this year, they played West pretty much one out last year. He kicked a swagger goal for them. There's been enormous crowding in their forward line tonight, and the big fellow hasn't got amongst the goals.
Threadgold has played a particularly good hand, as has Soderstrom. And Feast has been getting back, playing kick behind the play as a ruckman.
Getting away with it was Pachura. Well, it's come unstuck for him. Roger James, a high one, and now West, the big fella's mark. Well, there was a hole for him to run into. There hasn't been many of them all night. And he kicked 1 goal last week against West Adelaide. Now remember, the Redlegs lost that by 2 points, and they only kicked 8 for the night.
And just as this is happening, the interchange of Archie, what tremendous intelligence by Troy Clements. He ran to the spaces and possibly could have been used.
So Jimmy West with 2 points after 1 goal last week against West Adelaide. Drills it from 45 metres out. He likes it, the big fellow. That's a confidence booster. It's one the Redlegs need. They need to give him some space to work his magic. That time they did, and he finished it off beautifully.
It's a terrible turnover by the Sturt side out at half-back. And the result, well, what it should have been really when you make a mistake like that at the 50 metres mark.
And they were free-flowing last year, the Redlegs, but their forward zone is congested. They were the highest scoring side last year. 8 goals last week, only 10 so far tonight. It's not enough to win big games.
11 points here, final quarter, Adelaide Oval. First night game for the season. The big fella, again we see in Newbury. He's getting his hand on the ball before Feast. Harvey's in there, being a little bit quiet tonight, Ken.
Yes, Harvey started on centre wing. He stints on the ball and at half forward. He's in on Atkinson at the moment, who was just rampant in the third quarter.
Ball comes out, Obbs. Weave a bit of magic. He does with the pace that he's got. Ball's high. The back is French. He goes for the mark. Coming through hard. Throwing the ball forward. That player there was Robinson. Chance here again for the Redlegs. They've got the numbers and they just need to pick the ball up. O'Brien tackles the player without the football. The double Blues will receive the free kick. The coach's box right in front of us here, fellas. Adelaide Oval are not happy.
Not a lot to complain about there, though, I don't think. Like, it was just, well, uncontrolled aggression, too much aggression.
I think that's what the coach is. They drill them to apply the tackle and release, don't they? And when they don't, it's just frustrating for a coach who can't get out there. Clements dispatches it to Neal, over the top to Bowman. This is a better build-up. They've switched the direction of play. Good shepherd off the ball from behind. Came from Newbury. A long bomb towards half forward. That's part of the problem, the way they're bringing the ball into their forward line. O'Brien, good aggressive football. James off the ground, went forward. But at the back, it's Pachura. Feeds it back to Lennon, who's been a star tonight off his wing for the double Blues. A long one. Oh! And it's worked. It's Pitt, who's a clever player overhead, takes a fine mark, dispatches it to Macca, and the skipper gets a chance of kicking an inspirational goal. He's 30 out, directly in front, Macca. 5 kicks and 8 handballs for him tonight. It hasn't been a glorious night, possession-wise, but he's done all the hard work at the bottom of the packs.
I think that's worth commenting on, David. He has. He's been right there with the tackles, the smothers, the blocks, and his experience there sees him with his opportunity to capitalise on another Sturt mistake at half-back.
So the 35-year-old skipper, 353 games, 177 goals, and this one is as important as any. They trail by 12 points. A goal here brings them back within 1 kick and they're on the way home. And the goal umpire has a look. The crowd like it. But it's only a point. What a letdown. And Macca can't believe it. He says it's a goal. What's the goal umpire thinking? Look at him. He's standing there incredulous. And he says, fellas, I know a goal when I see one. And there's a dipstick out there somewhere.
Not much you can do about it, though.
Well, I swore it was a goal, I've got to say, but the goal umpire's in a better position than me, Mark.
Atkinson goes wide, finds Soderstrom, and he goes to the top of the centre half forward. Good position, Burton to the back, and he needs to get back quickly. He hasn't. Neal pushes it wide. Going for the safety of the boundary line. It'll be kept in, or will it be? The Norwood players, yes it has, it's gone out over the boundary line. Young Tom Harley. He's not too happy either.
Fellas, let's have a look at this goal of Macca. Macca believes it's a goal. He's 35 out directly in front. And you be the judge.
At the top of the goal post.
Righto. Thank you, Mark Nailey. The goal umpire certainly thought so. He's the only man who counts, of course, but Macca thought it was a goal, or wished it was a goal. Well, 9,251 eclipses, the 7,996 that attended Norwood Oval last year when the Redlegs played Central District. So clearly, Friday night football at Adelaide Oval, a big winner with the fans.
Good work shown by Powell. Just head down. Come a little bit sore. Good handball back to Feast. The ball's up. Archie from behind. Dan is off. He'll back himself. He does. He kicks the ball up high. One-on-one duel. Come to the ground. McIntosh. He's got the leg speed. He might have. He needs support out wide. Ops is the one with the leg speed. Comes in the top of the square. He's seen his player there. Which way will it go? It's taken from behind. Jimmy West unsided for 3/4.
1 against 3.
All of a sudden, pulls down, big mark. This will make the game very, very interesting. Back to a 4-point margin if he kicks it straight.
It's a good build-up by the Redlegs from half-back. Again, the captain, McIntosh, right in the midst of it.
And Jimmy West, James West of his friends, puts it on its way. He's happy with it. That's his second. Both kicked in this last quarter. As I said, a 4-point ball game.
5-point. How's your maths, by the way?
The half-forward line of the Sturt side is just not running hard enough to position
My maths
on the
pretty good,
leads.
David.
James West there, look at this. Very deliberate with his approach to goal, straight through the middle.
Well, David, one scoreboard says 77 points to the Double Blues.
Actually, it does, Mark. You're quite right. The Adelaide Oval scoreboard says 74 to the Redlegs and 73 to the Redlegs and 77 to the Double Blues. We're backing our statistician Ian Moggridge, of course. But this will be interesting if it goes right down to the wire as Patura streams away from half-back, blasts it towards centre-half forward. At the back at Stanfield, crashing through the big man. Did it pretty well, bends it around the corner, looking for Burton. Neil did very well just to bring it forward, but it rebounds for Burton. He's already kicked 4. Oh, it's 5. Burton's got it. Oh, he's kicked 5, the big fellow, and just steps it out now to an 11-point margin in favour of the Double Blues.
Tremendous burst off half-back by Patura. He took them all on. Arguable whether he rang more than 10, but it doesn't really matter. They were structured up well with the Sturt side then. They had rovers in the front. They had big men at the contest, and eventually it came over the back to Burton, who was able to finish for his 5th.
So back now to a 10-11-point ball game. Comes to the ground, coming out hard. I'm not quite sure which scoreboard I should be going
Just
by.
go with 10 or 11 points, Mark.
10 or 11.
That,
You're going to have to be happy with that. Out to Cunningham. Cunningham's got a panic, just needs to pick it up. He's very tired. He goes to the top of the square. No, he hasn't. He's gone for the goals. The ball's down. James, his ball's smothered. Great desperation. Which way will he go? Kicks in, smothered. Another rush behind.
The numbers were there for the Redlegs.
Red goal went for the kick. Oh, there's the
Smothered by Powell. Solison came up with it. Feast chips the ball forward. Irvine.
Irvin, would that be?
Irvine to me. 17 possessions, 5 marks.
Steinlager, Steinborner, Einstein, Twit.
We love our football.
Burton.
It's come down as Geddes. Burton there again. He's got it. The match winner, Julian Burton, has 5. He tucks the mouth guard into his shorts. Will line up for his 6.
He does look fit, Ken, doesn't he?
Oh, he's prepared himself tremendously well. And this lining up for his 6th goal, he just deserts for the hard work that he's put in.
So 9 points. Extended out. 16, I think he's dragged it across as a comeback. It hasn't. It's come back slightly, but hit the post. The second one for this quarter for the Double Blues.
And Sturt here structure up with his own defence, where they scatter players across their half-forward line. and have to guard an area rather than an opponent.
The Double Blues have a number of options too at full forward. They've got Ferguson, White,
Soderstrom
can
Stanfield.
play. Stanfield. Gee, they've got an abundance of big forwards. They're going to trouble some smaller sides this year, no question of that. Clever work. Stanfield got it on the release from Atkinson.
Oh,
look, White, front position. Bowman just let him get away that split second.
Now that's the big advantage if when you set up with the zone defence, if you can get it back quickly from the kick out, from the long kick out, if you can get it back really quickly, you're going to have 3 of your players across the full forward line to only 1 of the direct opposition.
6 kicks, 4 handballs and 5 marks don't quite tell the story of Stephen White's night. He's kicked 1 goal, 1, but he has competed in every contest. He's given them something to kick at, and that 18-19 minutes into the final quarter might just be enough as Big White gets his second.
That's a tremendous result for White. In the first quarter, he had his arms at the football, his hands on the footy, but he just couldn't hang on, and Norwood were able to rebound through his errors. But then in the third quarter, he kicked a terrific goal, and that's a good one there, the 18-minute mark of this final quarter. So he's had a fairly good influence on the game this evening.
17 points enough, Ken?
Look, I think Sturt have been a better side all night, and if they can just keep their composure here.
Well, the Redlegs didn't lose last year, Mark, for 10 rounds. They've lost against West Adelaide last week. Maybe tonight against the Double Blues, and next week they face Glenelg at Norwood.
They really have to be able to do something here, the centre bouncers, though. It doesn't show on those stats there, but they really have been eclipsed, have Sturt, at centre bounce clearances. And you'll find here that one Norwood player will run very much forward of the play, punting that they do win the game, this centre bounce.
Sturt coach Phil Carter spent a lot of time on his feet then, barking out orders from the boundary line. Not too many SANFL coaches these days. They're down there at the grassroots level. Gee, you need a bit of May magic, you'll find it. He's got Burton on the lead, he pushes out wide. Not a very good kick. Burton, you can see the North player coming. But the advantage of big players not. It's been brought back. James will take it. Matthew James. Feast! Up and out of it. At it again.
Well, there's 3 of the best marks you'd see. 3 of the best marks you'd see in a crucial time of a football game. Archie taking the one-arm magic mark, Feast taking the skyscraper, and this fellow taking the powerful mark.
It's well judged, wasn't it? Newbury off.
Oh, gotta get over that, David. 3 marks like that.
As we go down to Michael Parsons.
Yeah, and a change of tactics there from the Norwood team. They've put on a short for a tall. Newbury off, and Damien King coming back on.
Stanfield is on its way. You can put down a Double Blues. I'm not going to lose this game. Players like Stanfield, Feast, Archie out there. Just a little bit of their magic. That's his second for the night. Double Blues now kick 14.
That's 10 mark out of the 3-pronged tall attack that Sturt have employed here tonight. Burton, the main focal point, he's got 6 on the board, 4 in the first half. And you've got White and Stanfield with 2 apiece.
97 plays, 74, a 23-point margin to the Double Blues. We're 22 minutes into the final term. The score is correct. We're told the Adelaide Oval scoreboard is wrong as Atkinson flicks one forward. The Double Blues are on a rampage. Witherall, short, Twit, young Einstein, left footer, coming around, hit the post.
Second time the quarter.
Well, he's a good shot.
My boy.
No worries about splitting the atom for him. He just hits the post.
Gee, I like him, Ken. He's just got that vision.
Is that 4 points?
Smart play. He's kicked
4.
his eyes.
Hey, 4 points, Ken.
What about Atkinson, though? Has he lifted his game? Unbelievable. The match winner in the second half. Centre bounce clearance through Atkinson.
Stanfield has the sit. He does. He takes it. The big Bazza will get to his feet. He's got support. The play running past the Irvine.
Not a bad role model either, Atkinson, for the young fellow in Twit.
If I was Twit, I'd be getting a lock alongside of him. Sit down and listen to him talk every night at training. So Stanfield Pushes it high. He'll take the grab here. All players up. Weatherall quick onto his foot. Burton got a chance here. Sockers it. Has it got there? It hasn't. And Miller happy to just let it go over. So Big Miller started most of the game, played most of the game, the first 3 quarters up forward. Been brought back just to try to contain and compete against these big fellas up forward for the Double Blues.
Full credit to Weatherall. He was beaten soundly in the first quarter, but he really has bounced back, nearing 50 games. And that really shows a great deal of character to put on the performance he has today since quarter time.
Neil, the new recruit from St Kilda, who went kickless for the first quarter. In fact, only picked up his 3 kicks of the first half late in the second quarter. Has gone to full-back. Feast, claimed by O'Brien. McIntosh, toe pokes it forward, gathers the ball. Feast claims him. There is an air of strength about this Double Blues side, and they have bustled the Redlegs from the first bounce. Neil to the far side. Clearly he'll get better as the season goes on, and I'm sure that's what Coach Peter Road is hoping. Matty James holds the ball, goes to ground. Tackle too high, said the umpire. And a free kick. Well, Ken, dissect the Double Blues for us. They really haven't had a weak player.
No, they have. They've been led well by Simon Feast in the ruck, Atkinson in the centre. The 2 wingmen in Irvin and Lennon have been exceptional, particularly in the first 3 quarters. They've had a 3-pronged tall attack, which have all contributed, 10 goals between them, and they've had the brilliance of the likes of Archie, who has been fairly special. He's missed a few goals. Matthew Power has been particularly good. And across half-back, I think they've been very, very solid as well. So, you know, they've had a very good evening, and one which will give their supporters a great deal of hope and really build into next week's first home game back at Unley.
Atkinson to Weatherall to thread goal. Archie, well, he's got away a little bit from Clements, flicks it wide. Lennon, who has been sensational off a wing for the Double Blues, goes long towards goals. Oh, there's the cream on the cake. Welcome back to Double Blues. And last year's premiers have been shell-shocked. 15-15 to 11-8. All the action coming to you on ABC Football.
See this here, good run by Lennon. 3 goals from a centre wing. It's a pretty special performance. And that one from about 65 metres on the run. Atkinson's second half, he must have had nearly 20 possessions. Just been enormous.
Brody Atkinson off, a well-earned rest. Big night for Atkinson. 13 kicks and 16 handballs as we go to Michael Parsons on the boundary line.
Brody has had a great night, but he's come off and he is holding his hamstring, so we'd hope that there's nothing too serious there for the Sturt Football Club.
Too many kicks. Well, that's not good news though, is it?
Maybe a little bit of cramp. First game of the year for Brody Atkinson. A little bit tough, but Norwood, fellas, lost last week to West Adelaide by a small margin. Tonight they're going down to Double Blues. Last year they won their first 10 games.
Well, they certainly haven't been shamed. Let's be fair about it. They've had a very congested forward line all night. They've given their forwards very little opportunity. I think it's more a structural problem than an ability problem. And the Double Blues have played Feast as that loose man in defence most of the night, congesting the Norwood forward zone even further.
Cunningham exploded as the first rover in the first quarter, but then was taken out of the game. Phil Carman put Matthew Powell on him, which was to good effect. Then it was McIntosh and Harvey that lifted their rating, but none of the midfielders have really performed in this second half for Norwood.
Bowman dispatches a kick forward. Carslake back to Bowman. Bowman's dragged off the ball. Oh, he went for a big kick, kicking in danger to the umpire. And you be the judge.
I like the structure, the setup of the Sturt football side. They're giving themselves space all the time in their forward line all night. The 3 tools are working very, very well, with Irvin and Lennon dropping into space as well.
This is Geddes, a long bomb. It's home. Well, the Double Blue Army are enjoying this, and the crowd has swelled here at Adelaide Oval. And it wasn't Geddes, it was Robinson off a half-back flank, and he's holding a hammy as well.
The commitment, just the strength at the ball, the physical attack on the football by the Sturt Football Club has been terrific tonight. They've just given it everything.
And a hammy.
14 off. And the result, David, is exactly what you as a coach in Phil Carman would be hoping for. Like, he'd be just proud as punch with the effort that they put in tonight.
Well, Peter Road would be shell-shocked at this stage, and the siren's gone, it's all over. Look at Phil Carman. Gets a hold of Brody Atkinson, who was out of the box tonight. Scotty Robertson, who went off late with an injury, and Phil Carman is pleased as punch. Mocker Dunstan, the new general manager, embraces the coach, and there is young Jared Twitt. Number 40, the 19-year-old, on debut for the Double Blues. A win, 4 points for him as we go down to Michael Parsons on the boundary.
And with me is a very happy coach of the Sturt Football Club, Phil. You've got to be happy first time out this year.
Oh, there's no doubt. It hasn't set in yet, but I was still anxious. Even at the 25-minute mark, I was sort of making that many moves, didn't realise they were that far in front, but we really set ourselves for this. Months ago, we knew we were going to be playing at Adelaide Oval under lights, and you know, it's a sensational effort by the boys.
It's a fabulous atmosphere here tonight under lights.
It's sensational. I'm glad footy's here, and I think after tonight there'll be a hell of a lot more games played here.
And Brody Atkinson, his second half, you've got to be impressed with the way the man plays football.
He was tagged probably early, and Doreen had a bit more of the footy of him, but it was just his attitude to keep at it. The ball came his way, and he was very, very good. But also, the majority of the side really dug deep at, midway through that second quarter and really turned it around for us.
Yeah. And a young team coming up from where they've been for the last few years, you've got to be happy also with the way they stood up when Norwood made their run there halfway through the last quarter.
Oh yeah, we matured a fair bit last year. We won those 6 games, and you can see then that they got so much confidence, and I just felt that they'd improved that little bit more through the pre-season. A lot of the lads have matured, and you expect that type of thing, as you mentioned, that when the pressure's on, they're a bit older, more experienced, and you need that sort of thing, and they were good.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the coverage of the big match between Norwood and the Double Blues, a classic encounter and a big crowd at Adelaide Oval for the first match under lights at Adelaide Oval. Join us 2 o'clock next Saturday afternoon as we cover the match between Sturt and South, one of 4 that the Double Blues will play at Adelaide Oval this year as they return to their home base. So join us 2 o'clock next Saturday afternoon as we bring you SANFL football live and exclusive to ABC Football. Bye for now.